This Fleet Equipment Unscripted interview is presented by Hendrickson, a leading manufacturer of heavy-duty suspension systems and components to the global commercial transportation industry. Visit hendrickson-intl.com to learn more.
Hey everyone, Jason Morgan, Content Director for Fleet Equipment. Welcome to Fleet Equipment Unscripted. Believe it or not, I am still going through all the info I got back at TMC. So TMC was held early in March. Lots going on. It was a busy show. And this is kind of what happens. I run around like a madman and I get a million things. And then I have to work through those later that I find out. But this is really cool. I got something very cool for you. I stopped by the international booth. I talked to Brian Mulshine, Director of Customer Experience at Navistar. He took me on a tour through the latest service-minded offering through OnCommand Connection and International 360. All the updates that have gone through on the platform, and there's been a lot. It's connecting Navistar and International trucks to the service network, and even beyond their nameplates in some ways, as their OnCommand Connection strategy has proven here in the past and going forward. Walking through preventative maintenance planning, increasing the connection between the dealer, the service, the fleet, so you can get a better picture of what's going on and manage those trucks in a holistic way. So stop by the booth. He took me on a tour. Check out the video. Again, here's Brian Mulshine, Director, Customer Experience at Navistar at TMC this past March.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about International 360 and OnCommand Connection. With International, with our solutions, as we discussed in the past, we have two different solutions. We have Intelligent Fleet Care that bundles it all together. All of our Class 8 trucks comes with this at no charge for 5 years. With that, OnCommand Connection comes with the vehicle for 5 years. That gives you visibility to the vehicle health. It's also an all-make solution across all makes and models of vehicles. International 360 is the service communication layer that we'll go into live in a moment.
Right.
But really what we're doing is we're talking about making data visible, actionable, easy to understand. So what we want to do is make sure customers keep the trucks on the road at the lowest cost of ownership. Also with our applications, they are any type of computer. They're a cell phone, it's a responsive design, it's not an app, so it'll work on any device.
Okay.
It's a mobile device, it'll work on your computer, any browser. It has 3 languages already, English, French, and Spanish. We actually rolled out all of our dealers in Mexico. By June, all of our locations in Mexico will be live.
Oh, cool.
I've already got Puerto Rico live, so it's really exciting to see the Latin American market. Because we have a global business, and especially in the North American space, a lot of customers come north-south, so we're able to take care of the experience.
Right.
Also, we have email and texting in the solution as well. Each month, our dealers it's communicating nearly 750,000 emails a month coming in and out of the system, so that's fantastic.
Yeah, I loved how you had not an app up there in big bull.
Not an app.
Are you feeling a little app fatigue maybe
it's
out there?
Fatigue. It's like, the thing is, I was even asked by some competitive solutions, well, what do you have in your solution? What do you have in your app-based solution? Well, everything. It's because I don't want to try to play catch-up. We're on an agile process. We release something every 3 weeks.
Okay.
You can't do that on an app.
Right.
It's hard to say, let's do a web solution and an app. Then you got to do Android and Apple.
Yep.
So we're always up to date
Cool.
with our technology. Also on the 360 side, it's included with our vehicles, and now we're growing over 430 fleets just on the 360 side. And some of those fleets are on direct integration. We're also integrating service tools. This is kind of neat. Our product is an open architecture platform. We want to provide all the details for a customer in one spot.
Yeah.
So Autometer is a test equipment, but it has great data about the vehicle health. And so with that, it actually stores and records the information from the test.
Right.
Also what we've done is we've integrated Cummins Engine Company. This is a big one. Our dealers are going to be able to click a button and it builds a work order in Cummins guidance.
Okay, that is very cool.
Yeah, so the dealer doesn't have to go in and have a technician create the other work order. What happens is they would have a button, create Cummins guidance, they select what job, and it builds a work order automatically in the other system.
Oh, nice.
So it works really well. Yes, sir. And that's a big customer here. He uses this stuff. So we also say meet the customer where they need to be met.
Right.
We have our own solutions, our own websites. We have it off of our 360 portal, and also we have OnCommand Connection. We also integrate to all of our dealer management systems.
Right.
Our dealers are integrating their system, so as soon as they create a work order, it'll come directly up to 360. And now we've just announced recently where we have Trimble live.
Yep.
So customers that use Trimble as they build a work order in their Trimble system saying they're out of service, it'll automatically create a work order in 360 for them, so they don't have to go to our portal.
Nice.
And larger fleets have said it saves them 12 minutes just in setting up a work order, and then it saves them 10 phone calls per service event.
Right.
It improves their uptime by nearly 30% just by having that information.
Right.
We've also taken other customers like JB Hunt, Werner, and Heartland and made direct integrations where their system hooks directly to ours. So our dealers are doing updates, it's updating their system.
So their proprietary in-house systems you're integrating there. Very cool.
Well, I didn't, they did.
Okay.
We have an open layer. We provide all the documentation.
Okay.
And then this way we can accelerate our path. What we do is we provide them credentials to our open architecture. We call it a digital service engagement layer. And the customers can go to our layer and start pulling information out and get the information. Really critical for customer experience.
Right.
And then for small customers, we just work even with a small company called Truckmore. A lot of our dealers I started seeing use Truckmore for parts marketing. And they had a service request button, but it sent the dealer an email. No, that's crazy. Make it a work order in 360. And they did it. We already have dealers going live. If you go to our dealer's website, Carolina International, if the customer puts a service request in, it builds a work order in 360 for the customer, and they can see all the updates on their own website at Carolina International or others. Really slick. What we've done is we've reduced where some call centers, they have multiple brands of vehicles. They can all stay in one system and they don't have to be in our platform. All right, it's about the digital engagement layer.
Very cool.
Okay. You know, Trimble, they have about 900 fleets. It's not no cost to them to have that integration.
Very cool.
But really the sweet spot is the maintenance side. That's the newest piece, where small customer strategy, if they want, they can run our Advanced Preventive Maintenance platform from International. That they can go in on fuel economy-based schedules and track their maintenance in the vehicle, on the vehicle. Okay. This is an example of Werner Edge. What's interesting here is our dealers show up with a lightning bolt. And what it does, it indicates if they choose that dealer, they don't have to make a phone call. They don't have to. So what happens is they end up using our dealers more because it makes a digital experience, right? And that's all about open layer communication.
Right.
And also they've seen, it went from 12 phone calls to 2, reduced their case creation time by 10 minutes, and also increased their 26% increase to connected locations. So they're going there more frequent because it gives them a better experience.
Very cool.
Okay, hi everyone. Sorry, I'm back, and sorry to cut in, but Brian jumped into, at this point in the interview, Brian jumped into some very specific examples of the International 360 dashboard. That was very cool, but also very, let's just say, sensitive. And this was not a test case. This wasn't a demo fleet. It was actual fleet information, and I don't want to put anyone on blast. So I want to just kind of give you an idea, an overview of what we walked through here, right? So he went into the International 360 dashboard. He logged in as a dealer. He selected a customer, right? So if I'm a dealer, then I have my customer, and it showed any truck down situation that fleet was dealing with. It showed its location, its dwell time, all the communication and fault code data associated with it, right? And so within the International 360 dashboard, he walked me through how they track maintenance. You can see what vehicles are overdue for maintenance, like an oil change. You can see the truck status, if it's on its way, if it's waiting for a bay, if it's in service, right? And then Brian, that's on a single truck. And then Brian zoomed out, right? And you could see a whole holistic view of that fleet, right? For example, the customer example that Brian showed that 6 trucks were overdue for its PMs, 13 were due soon, and 1 truck wasn't communicating. And for that one, it meant that the telematics device wasn't working, right? So this is the kind of visibility and even actionability that it offers, right? All that information was presented in the now tried and true red, yellow, green kind of dashboard design that calls the user to make an action, right? To do something. Clear that red indicator, right? The red, so those 6 trucks that were overdue for PMs, that was in red, right? The 13 that were coming up soon, those were in yellow. So it kind of gave you a visual indication of, okay, where do I start and what's my pecking order and what do I deal with today? Now, keep in mind, this is all visible to the international dealer. So let's cut back over to Brian for his take on the dealer's role in the fleet service process.
What's the appetite overall for dealers wanting to basically help manage fleet maintenance? Is there a lot of education that needs to happen? Are there some that get it, some that don't? How do you go about doing this?
Some of our better dealers, what they do is they get somebody that is really good customer service skills, and we actually do training. We have job descriptions and training to help them onboard. And they usually start small, but what's happening is some smaller customers, they just support them and give them the tools to help manage the business better. So it's a great solution for dealers that want to help their local fleet customers a little bit more.
Very cool. Well, thanks for walking us through.